Hi, welcome to the third edition of Mackem Jags. Hooray! Good news for a change. Instead of abject misery over the recent weeks, we finally had a couple of wins, so well done the lads. Stranraer, sorry I didn't report on that game. It wasn't out of any disrespect for Stranraer, it wasn't to neglect our performance, it was a good performance. We fired on all cylinders, we put 4 goals past, albeit a lower opposition, but we did well. We won the game and we're in the next round of the Scottish Cup. East Fife, after what happened earlier in the season, potentially a banana skin, but I really feel that we could have a decent cup run this year. So come on lads, we can do this. More focused on the league, of course. Last thing we want to do is see the club go down, and the signs certainly from yesterday's game are that we can potentially avoid that. So that is good news. I've reviewed some of the footage of yesterday's games, looked at people's comments, had a look in the press, and it seems to be very positive. It's very reassuring that we managed to score 2 goals. It's a little bit disappointing that we conceded, and especially the nature of the goal. It may well have been a soft penalty, but it was a bit of a game of pinball before the ball eventually did fall into a position which brought the foul and did result in a penalty. So that was disappointing. And really, to put ourselves potentially under pressure for the last 10 minutes, it's not ideal. But during that 10-minute spell, to be honest, it didn't really threaten. And had it not been for a marginal offside decision, it would have been a more comfortable win. Remember what I said a few weeks ago? If you can score 2, 3, 4 goals in a game, you can afford to concede one at the other end. And proof of the pudding, last couple of weeks we've managed just that. So well done lads, come on. Looks as if we're gelling a bit of a team together here. And the future's perhaps not looking rosy, but it's certainly looking a lot better than it was in previous weeks. There's been some movement on the transfer front. I, like all Jags fans, was a little bit disappointed to see Chris Erskine leave, gone to Livingston, and I wish him all the very best. He's done a lot for the club, scored over 50 goals, played over 250 games, and he's been one of the stalwarts of the clubs in recent years. So Chris, if you should inadvertently catch this while you're having a look on YouTube, unlikely, but I do wish you all the best, and I'm sure that you will get a much better reception than Abdul Osman, should you come back with Livingston at any stage. Quite interesting to read how he felt about his reception. Now, I'll be honest, I don't think he did a lot wrong at our club. It was a very, very hostile reception, and as he said himself, he very nearly lost his temper, which could have resulted in infringements on the pitch. In fact, the way that he was speaking about the situation, it's a wonder he wasn't diving in the crowd and having a go at somebody. So I don't know what quite happened there. If somebody wants to leave a comment, was he really such a bad egg at the club? I don't think so. But obviously, you pays your money, you're entitled to make your comments when you're in the crowd. The future. We've got a couple of difficult games coming up, although in our position you could argue that every game's difficult. Inverness Cali away, it's a strange one. They beat us 3-2 up there, which I think was a lot more comfortable scoreline than it suggests. A couple of later second half goals for us, but they were already comfortably 3-0 up, and again, a bit like we do sometimes, they made the last 5-10 minutes a bit more difficult for themselves. It's going to be a tough one. They have disappointed this season in terms of wins, tend to draw a lot of games. Unfortunately, when they have broken out from runs of draws, it's tended to be against Partick Thistle. So fingers crossed, come on, it's an away game. If there's one thing our club needs now, we have to start picking up points away from home. It's been shocking again this season. Right, we've got new players in. I think Gary Colville's comment about, they haven't been associated with the club in the last couple of seasons. The mentality should be different. Hopefully it is, and hopefully we can go up there and at the very, very worst pick up a point and touch wood get 3. It's not beyond the team that we have. We look as if we're a little bit better up front, more striking options. It was good to see Joe Cardle scoring. Very positive. Chris Dolan was a little bit unlucky with his header. Perhaps his time will come. He'll hit 5 or 6 games, get a good run of goals, boost his confidence, and induction in the Hall of Fame and a good finish to the season I would argue, be a pretty good finish for Chris. So come on Chris, see the ball in the back of the net, you can do it, you will do it, we're confident in you, and you're certainly one of the players that was there with Alan Archibald, and I'm more than happy to still see at the club. I think Stuart Bannigan's had a good few games. I think Blair Spittle's played well. Aidan Fitzpatrick, bit of transfer talk. Potentially 150,000 quid with add-ons at Norwich, potentially Rangers. 17-year-old, he's done really well for the club. He's hopefully got a really good future. It'd be nice if we could hang on to him for a couple of years. He could be perhaps mainstay of a team that's going for promotion next season. Get back to the Scottish Premier League. So, well done Aidan, keep it going. Jamie Penrice is playing well. We seem to be a little bit better in central defence, although it's a great shame that Tam Aware was injured as early in the season as he was. I genuinely feel that he could have made a difference. So, unbeaten in a calendar month, not too many days left. We can keep that going. I said last time, we need to win approximately half the games we've got left if we're going to have a realistic chance of staying up. We've got to hope that Alloa, Dunfermline both hit pretty poor patches. It was good to see that Falkirk stayed below us. That was a good result. It's a shame that they didn't lose 2-1, but that's by the by. Queen of the South, a bit disappointing, but there again I thought they were disappointing when we played them beginning December. The only difference in that particular game is that they've got a 30-goal a season striker, and frankly at that stage we didn't have anybody who could hit a barn door from probably 2 yards. So, well done Scott Dobie, you're a good striker. I wish we had you, if I'm being brutally honest, but the rest of the team don't look particularly good. They didn't look good. It was a very deserved win yesterday. So come on Jags, come on, let's get ourselves out of trouble. Right, 2 or 3 games down the line, if things go well, we could have a whole different approach. I don't think we're going to reach the playoffs. I think the gap is still too big, but it hasn't been a good league this season. And when you look at the teams at the bottom of the Scottish Premiership, any 2 of those come down, I don't think they'd be a big threat next season. So we should be looking to finish the season well, bed the players in. They seem to have made a good start, quite a few of them. It's Gary Caldwell's team now very much, so obviously we will judge him on what happens. And the signs initially are pretty positive. Let's get a few clean sheets. It still worries me. Not as much when we're scoring 4s and 2s, because that odd goal, like I've said, isn't going to make a huge amount of difference. But clean sheets inspire confidence. A settled defence, clean sheets, strikers doing what strikers are meant to do, put the ball in the back of the net, and come on, finish the season with a flourish. A good cup run would go a long way towards doing that. I think we can beat East Fife, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. Tough game, but it gives us something to look forward to in the season. A quarter, maybe it's a semi-final. I don't see past Celtic for winning anything, not this season. And to be honest, not next season either. Sorry if you're a Rangers fan or Kilmarnock or anybody else. I think Celtic are going to do it again. Okay? But in terms of ourselves, much better signs. Come on Jags, let's really go for it. Thank you very much for your time. If you wish to leave any comments, always welcomed, whether you agree or disagree. And I look forward to the next vlog. Bye now.